Ambitious and motivated are words that describe you best. Then you're on the right place. This is Motivational Radio Friends from Paris with your host, Longi Agoha.
Is that it takes someone who has a skill and not financially free. They're not skillful or knowledgeable about money. So they can't get teaching you what they don't know. So it's not something that they have the capacity to do and they should not. Simply a subject matter that most will ignore or avoid or do not bother with, but they have to grapple with all of their life.
Okay, in fact, are you saying that all of us have seen that come short of glory of this thing called money? Because since you said, and you are right, that many people do not have this financial skill or knowledge, and so they can't you can't teach what you don't know, really. Because even the guy who's going to teach it, if he's not financially buoyant or not doing anything business or whatever, he's not going to teach you anything tangible, isn't it? And so many people just go along their, through their lives suffering, even if they earn money. At the end of the day, the money is finished because they don't know how to manage it. Okay, now let's go into the thing proper. So how can a layman free himself from the clutches of money since nothing is not taught in school? How can you, because if for any reasons you grab him, you get him into your net, what would you tell him that he should do in order to be financially free?
Everything big starts small. First, there has to be that little spark and desire your life, to see your life turn out. As our parents who see them having tiring and still be in debt, it tells us something is wrong with the system that employees introduce and turn out people who have gone to school, so-called graduates, learned people who have gone to school only to work the rest of their life, living paycheck to paycheck. Something obviously is wrong with that system. So it's for the first time that what I'm going to practice is something that has been practiced over the years and has never produced the kind of results that we all desire, which is freedom. Most people are trained financial security. I find a secure job where I can be fired and I'm assured of paycheck every month. That security freedom says I go learn how to, and then I try my hand out. And then one day I know I fail, I learn, I'll get it right. So there are two trajectories that financial freedom. The other leads to financial security. And of course, you and myself know that in today's world, there's no security of job anywhere or of anything actually. So I might as well take the risk, take personal risk. So is to have a desire to say to myself, do I want to end up the way the elderly ones I see around me have ended up after working for 35 years? And they are still not free. They are still living paycheck to paycheck this time around on less than they used to, because now they're living on pension. Or do I want to take a different trajectory where I take the risk while I'm young, learn the skills I need to learn, become enterprising and manage my funds properly and build assets, and then be assured of free checks coming through mails or coming into my account when I'm too old to work, because I've built passive income that continues to deliver money into my fund. So it's basically a choice of the future I want. If I want a bright future, if I want to be free, if I want to retire early, if I want to be free of work, if I want to travel, see the world, then I have to also deliberately make choices.
That is wonderful. That I think it's a question of personal. You have to be involved. The person has to be involved. You have to define exactly what you want from the beginning. I guess after school, you need to really sit down. Am I looking for job security or am I looking for financial security, isn't it? Because I think both of them are not the same. The two of them are not the same. You start looking for job security and you get a job in the ministry and you work for 40, 45 years and retire with a gold watch. Maybe, Les Brown said that time has gone. I think the time of job security has gone. I think now we are now in a world whereby you have to be enterprising from the onset. The thing that worries me mostly is the fact that I don't know why human beings, we want something to be perfect before we do something. The world itself is not perfect, but we always spend our time looking for perfect things. Want to look for the perfect job, want to look for perfect things before we try. Because I believe in the theory that people learn by doing.
Yeah, exactly. People learn by doing. An expert was once a beginner,
right?
Was once a learner. So you don't become an expert without trying, without learning. Learning will not happen because you wish it. It will happen because
right.
So basically, financial mastery is a mirage until I'm willing to learn. This classroom learning. I tell people there are two kinds of education. The one that puts us and make us employees, dependent, waiting for someone to think for us and show us the way. The other one puts us on the spot and force us to change and force us to grow and force us to learn and force us to develop, and in the process leave us better human beings, more knowledgeable, more skillful, and of course with more capacity to solve problems. Money is actually value returned to us for problem solving. Whether they are business problems we solve, emotional problems we solve, or whatever kind of problems we solve, every time you solve problems and you build a channel or a platform to monetize, money will answer to you.
I agree with you, because I can put it in another form. If you spend your time asking yourself, how can I create value for people? Then I'm sure you're on the road to financial freedom. If you dream or if you have that vision of creating value for people, because all of us, somebody said that all the money we need on this planet is in people's pockets. The money you need, the money I want, somebody's having it, somebody's holding it. So until I create a value that person needs, that person will not release the money to me. So for me, that's it. The way I look at it is, if you create value to people, something they need, they will release the money they have to you. And so if you don't create that value, if you can't create value, then you can't get money. I don't know if you buy that idea.
Yes, but I buy that idea, but that's just one side of the equation.
Okay.
The balancing part of the equation is when I then make the money. Because let's face it, we can't say that being an employee is a bad thing at all, because that's a number of notches above not having a job. Some people have jobs, some people are underpaid, some people are overworked and they hate their jobs. Some people have fantastic jobs. I can tell you there are great jobs out there. So some people are very well paid. So the problem is not that they're not getting paid enough. It's not that they're not making enough money. The problem is that they don't have financial mastery. They don't have financial intelligence. I liken it to driving. If I have a Rolls Royce, but I don't have driving skills, I'm going to wreck it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wreck it. So one side of the equation is making enough money or creating enough value to exchange for my time, for money. The other side of the equation is knowing enough and being skillful enough to now convert this earned income, active income, into a structural setting where I could create more value. Having now made money, I use the money to create more value for myself. And then, of course, build a system, whether it's an act or a business that does not require me after a while, but it has to be a system that continues to deliver value much longer than I could do, much longer after I've gone. It continues to deliver passive income. Now, that's the kind of income that does not require my presence, my activities, my showing up. So I don't have to go to. And that's why I can transit from being an employee to having a business where I could employ people. And then with the intelligence and the skill that I acquired, build the business to the point where the business doesn't time me anymore. I could be free when I'm generating passive income from my business, from my assets, to take care of all my living expenses. At that point,
This podcast was brought to you by the Motivational Radio France with their host, Lonjago in Paris.